My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Noonas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
And guess what time it is again? It's Newsnas. Breaking news. Not breaking news. In fact, usually the opposite. Breaking news.
Breaking.
Just news that has happened since the last time we did Newsnas that we personally found interesting to us as in our own fandom lives. So that's what we're doing today. And to start us off, start us off nice and easy. To rip the Band-Aid off, as it were. Amanda, will you give us some military enlistment updates?
Okay. Nine Wu enlisting soon. Kevin O enlisted in December. Lee Taiwan discharged at the end of December. Yay! Surprise!
Welcome back to us. Yes.
Woo Jin Young from DICE.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we're saying it. Yep. Okay. Is enlisting at the beginning of March. Hwang Min Hyun, formerly of New West, is enlisting closer to the end of March. Song Kang enlisting April 2nd. Mm-hmm. I thought he was gone already. Okay.
Well, he announced that he was going back in December.
Ages ago, right? Yeah, okay. All right. Ace's Kang Yu Chan is the final member who is now out of the military. So Ace,
he's come back to us. Oh, they just did.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Wonwee's Young Hoon and Kang Hyun are both discharged. So, yeah. So I think that's it. Welcome back, and we'll see you again.
Yeah, we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, it always goes way faster than you think it's going to.
Meet again.
So there are a few K-pop member changes. So 5 Great Guys members, Hanyul, Daeun, Wee-Yun, Dongin, and Hwal-chan, they've left the group following their contract expirations, but I think the group will continue on, it seems, so far. TFN, which is formerly T1419, they've disbanded after just 3 years. So VAV members, this is breaking today, which it won't be breaking later, but this is actually breaking.
This is breaking the day that we record, not the day that this comes out.
VAV members, their contracts have expired and they've terminated them with their company. So far, it was not, they did not say halting all group activities or any of that lingo, whereas there was a girl group, Bugaboo, from the same company that a year or two prior, that lingo was. So, people are thinking the group may continue, but it was not clear. So, I will say the term VAV disbanded is all over social media, but it honestly has not been made official. Yeah. So just be mindful of that.
The TFN thing felt like it happened real fast. They disbanded. We were in the group chat talking about I wonder what the Japanese members will do. And then they announced, they're all back in Japan already. And you were what? Okay. Wow. It was...
I guess if they don't have those visas anymore.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's all we got for that. It was pretty slow group changes, I guess.
I mean, I'm sure there are more.
But
we just
we don't listen.
We're humans.
Yeah. That's what we were.
Lazy. Anyways.
So do you have something for us, Jessie?
I do. This is a very exciting news, and I'm sorry to share this news with you because it's a news about a drama that's not happening until next year, and we're at the beginning of this year, so I'm sorry I'm talking about it now, but I have to because the news just broke within the past week. So there is this drama that is coming out. It's a Japanese drama, and it's based on a novel, Glass Hearts. It is also titled The Glass Heart. It's going to be on Netflix, so that's why we know stuff, because Netflix is heavily pushing it, and they've sent out their like entire press release. But it has a crazy cast. And like the story actually seems really cool too. So like essentially the like basic premise of the show is there's this girl, Akane, who is a college student. She's also a drummer, and she finds herself kicked out of her band. I don't know if it's a college band. I don't know if it's like tied to something. I'm sure there's like a background story on like why she's kicked out that like probably happens during the drama. I don't know these specifics, but she's a drummer. She gets kicked out of this band, and then she kind of like happens on this guy who's like started this like band, and he's like, hey, we need a drummer, you should join our group. And she does. And that person who asked her to join the group is Sato Takaru, who, if you listen to our First Love episode, he's the male lead in First Love. He's also like one of the top Japanese actors right now. I know that The Incurable Case of Love was like super popular when it came out. It's now like
it's
on
Netflix. Now too.
Yeah. But also Netflix is doing what they did with K-dramas, where they're like focusing in on actors to like always have their stuff and look for the stuff. So there's several other dramas right now on Netflix that are led by him. But so it stars him. He's like the main leader of the group. Also, we have Michida Kaita, who you also know because of Cherry Magic. Like he's also in Alice in Borderland. Yu Kashu. He plays the guitarist in this band. Then Shisun Jun, who if you listen to our Noonas episode, we talked about him like a lot because he's in Kimi wa Peto. He was also just in Yu Hakusho. If you're picking up a trend here, this is a Netflix show. Shisun is playing a pianist, and he's also like big into like music and stuff. And then the last person that is named in the cast is Suda Masaki, who he's been in a bunch of stuff, but I think like most international people know him from Don't Call It Mystery, which is kind of like a Sherlock Holmes type J-drama. It's on Viki. He is playing the vocalist in a rival band. And so like right now that's just like the main cast. I'm sure that like a lot of other people are going to be on it. The girl is the female lead is played by Miyazaki Yu. She is like a pretty newcomer. I didn't really find stuff on her, and I could not. Everybody keeps on saying she's super new, so I could not verify who I found on my drama list was the same person, because if you didn't know, J-dramas never like drop like at this right time on my drama list. It's always like they just show up like the week before the J-drama drops. My drama list is like, hey, we'll add this. So yeah, I'm super excited about this drama. There was, when the news first broke about this drama, there was news about Takaru having had like a hand in doing a lot of like the casting and stuff for this. I can't verify that though, because it's not in the official press release on Netflix, and the like official press release came out like half a week after that first news that I saw. So I can't like guarantee. I mean, like, it's possible that he did, but like, I don't know. I do know that, however, they have been training for a really long time for this band, so they're gonna definitely be playing their instruments and singing and stuff. So
yes.
That's cool.
Love it.
I'm excited.
So I'm going to take us to a little fun little internet adventure given to us by the government of China because some shenanigans went down and it has been fun, sort of, as like a response. So I'm calling this the Great Spy Realm Debacle of 2024. So there was a show called Spy Realm, okay? And it is a fantasy, like an isekai fantasy BL show. It's like 78 episodes. Like, it is a long show, okay? Which makes the second half of this story even more impressive when you know that it's 78 episodes. So iQIYI released all of the episodes with
and it's China made, right?
Yeah, it's made in China, okay? Like China made, not like a Taiwanese one or anything. No, Chinese, okay? Released all the episodes, no subs, for a single hour, okay? Just 1 hour before it got pulled out. Now, I must say, it hasn't been confirmed why it was removed after an hour, but the fair assumption that people are making is that it was too gay for China. And so the Chinese government was like, oh, you got one up on us. Like, get it off, like, you fools. But, you know, the beautiful part about the internet and about fandoms in general is that Fujoshis find a way. You know what I mean?
And they're fast.
And they're fast as hell. Because in that single hour, some BL-loving heroes managed to download the entirety of the series illegally.
78. Are they like about an hour long?
I think they're half an hour, like 25 to half an hour.
Still.
I'm positive it was like a group chat, like coordinated event.
Like I feel like,
and on top of that, multiple like people decided to do this.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, like,
so it's like, and I feel like this is like
an entire Discord server worth of Fujoshi.
Yeah, and I feel like this is a common thing with a lot of BL shows. Like, people will immediately go and rip them from sources because, like, we've been burnt before, right? But since they have no subs, these brave heroes have also subbed all of the episodes, and like they were like, listen, China can't stop us. We're gonna see two men falling in love in a fantasy video game setting if it's the last thing we do. So listen, while it is still not available on iQIYI again or anywhere, you can find it if you have a will and the Fujoshi spirit within you. But I find it so funny because I haven't watched the show yet. Have I found it? Maybe. Who knows? No, listen, I'm not going to incriminate myself on here. But what I find so funny is this comes on the heels sort of like, I see it in a similar but different way to, like, you know, like the WB deciding to delete the Acme movie, like the Roadrunner movie. But for, like, from a different angle. It's like they're doing that for corporate greed nonsense, right? But this one, it's like the assumption is that this was a government overreach because it was a little too gay for the censors, you know? Because otherwise, why did it go down like this? So I feel like it was never supposed to be released on iQIYI. And, like, that was the shenanigan all on its own. I'm not going to say that it was a orchestrated effort by a brave Fujoshi working at iQIYI. I'm not going to say that.
But, like, it'd be fun to think about.
But, like, it could be. And then, but it also really shows, like, how fandoms can operate for the greater good to preserve lost media. Because without
Archivists.
this group, like, because at this point, like, you know, these companies are just pulling down, you know, shows and movies, and you never see them again. And so it's like, and they're doing away with physical media entirely, right? So, you know, I'm not saying pirating is good, but sometimes pirating's the only way to sort of
save a copy of these things. Like, even when you look at, like, emulators in old video games, like, that's the only way that these video games still exist, is because someone illegally made an emulator of it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not out here being like, you should pirate. But I am saying that perhaps these Fujoshi heroes have saved a piece of media that a lot of people worked really hard on making from never being seen by anyone. And that's, that's something to be said. And, of course it was a Fujoshi-led effort, because let's be honest, if your fandom doesn't have Fujoshis, your product is bad.
I mean, yeah.
It has to be like bottom of the barrel bad, because
smart group.
No, like, listen, if you have like a show or a movie or a book and there ain't no girlies making fan fiction and fan art of two of the male characters smooching, you've written a real piece of shit.
Okay. That actually leads me into something else that I didn't even think to write down on this, because it's adjacent, but it relates specifically to this.
Mm-hmm.
So, there is an otome game, Chinese made, called Love and Deep Space, okay? I play it, so I know what this game is like. It's sci-fi, there's 3 lead guys, it's cute, it's whatever. But now, I've only seen a screenshot. I've even seen people specifically that tried to go find this specific thing, like, within the rules and stuff, and they could not find it, so I will give that caveat to what I'm about to say.
Maybe it got removed,
But supposedly, the regulations and stuff said you cannot make BL art of
these characters.
It's
like, so you want your game to fail, is what you're telling me.
So of course, then all the jokes begin, like, you want an otome game fandom without any BL, like, riffs on it? What are you doing?
Free publicity?
Why?
I remember all the memes that came out about this, and my favorite one was when God's creation sings, will the Fujoshis not be part of the choir? Like, but it's true. Like, this is like a common thing in, like, anime, where they say if no one's making gay fan fiction and fan art about your anime sucks. And it's just like,
I mean,
so of course there's a lot to be said about censorship and the very serious aspects of, like, this game company, like, but I also will say, like, again, governmental regulations, so, like, there's things, but as far as, like, the international side of this, it's just, there's a lot of jokes that happen, because it was like, oh, you don't want Fujoshis to play your game. Like,
you
that's
fools.
just not gonna...
You fools. It's like, listen, you can try to make, like, to prevent Fujoshis from, like, listen, the Chinese government, they can try to stop the gay fan art.
You're gonna make gorgeous characters that you can even see shirtless. And you're going to pretend like that's never
You're gonna make a game
any type
full
of weird art.
Yeah, you're gonna make a game full of twunks and not expect people to imagine them smooching? Get out of here. Like, please. But
so it related to the regulations thing.
They can never stop your brain from seeing that in your own mind. Power of imagination, friends. But yes.
So it's probably always going to be... So if you ever... I think it'll probably end up kind of becoming a joke, and it'll probably even filter out of, like, that gaming community. So, like, if you ever see funny jokes about Love and Deep Space, and it's something about BL stuff, like, it doesn't have BL content, but, like...
No, see, everything has BL content if you believe in yourself. Like,
if you create it yourself.
If you believe in your dreams, the men can always smooch,
Active imagination.
Yeah.
You have to have, artistic brain.
Not even. Like, you just have to know what it looks like when two men smooch, and then just sit there and go, and then just imagine the two characters you're thinking of. Easy. Like, they didn't have to work by creating the characters for you. Anyway, on that Fujoshi note, Amanda, what you got?
One of my favorite Netflix dramas is becoming a musical in Japan. So they're putting it on stage. Navillera the Musical, gonna be playing on stage, and I think, like, it makes sense to me. That would make a really good, I mean, it's about ballet dancers, so that obviously translates to a musical and to the stage, but story-wise, I think it's a moving story, and it will translate well to stage, so that's pretty cool. I'm lucky Japan.
That makes me wonder if it's the same Japanese production company that put on the Crash Landing on You musical that Jinjin and Sanhoffer Mastro just... Are they done yet? But, like, they were in the
it's possible, but, like, there's a ton of, like, the biggest musical trend in Japan is just doing musicals
adaptations
of shows. Yeah, because, like, almost, like, there's a Death Note musical, there's Sailor Moon musicals, any of the major, like, Gundam,
A Gundam musical? Holy shit, I would watch the hell
literally
out of a Gundam
musicals
musical.
like for every like major anime franchise.
Listen, I would
there's ones on there's adaptations of like Otome games and stuff too. Like it's really cool. Like
I would watch the hell out of a Neon Genesis Evangelion musical, because that would be the most sublimely, unintentionally funny shit I've ever seen in my life.
I'm just like all of these, like the idea of like Gundam musical and stuff. I'm picturing in my head like a ballet, like the Nutcracker, you know, like the battle between the mice and the dancing battles and stuff. I'm like,
that would be nice.
I would watch that.
Evangelion stage play revealed for April 2023
no!
opening.
So book your tickets now, Natalia.
Oh, you just made my day, Jessie. Oh, incredible. But you know what they gotta do? They gotta start doing like live showing, like online showings. Like, people would really get into that.
So for the next tidbit, Yumi Sells the movie is gonna be a thing, Korea side. So Yumi Sells, as far as the little 3D animated cell characters from the K-drama, both seasons, will be released April 3rd. So that's really cool. Like, that's around the corner, too. So, and of course, those characters originated, like, from, it all started as a webtoon, so, like, that's the thing. It follows, the Cells ensemble on a mission to restore Yumi's happiness amidst the chaos caused by her dominant love cell and anxious cell. So, those little characters were a big hit during the drama time, like when the drama was playing too. So like, that was a really fun thing.
The poster's very cute. It's like,
it
says it's like it's our time now or something. You know,
and already a teaser's been released showing like what it's gonna be and stuff. So that looks pretty cute. It'll be interesting to see like when it pops up international side, because I'm sure it will soon.
Probably.
I bet they'll make some money on that.
I suspect.
It got a rare second season, so like clearly the interest is there.
Isn't it supposed to get a season 3 as well?
I thought so, but
I thought there was like 3 relationships. Like that was like the big major thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, I thought one would kind of like
or
thought one
maybe
season focused
one
on one season focused on the second, and then now it's kind of like
who's the end game?
Okay.
I don't know how this show goes.
That's what I thought. I have no.
If that were the case, there's one obvious answer. I'm sorry to say, if you've seen the shows, there's one clear winner. But I digress.
There's this guy in the background one day. A random guy.
She gets in a weird relationship with Mino. He's endgame, the gay character. No, I kid.
So I'm going to talk about this because we are already starting to see this pop up. If you were in our What's Coming Up for March live, you'll know there was a remake of a show listed in there. And that's because SLL, the producing company, sold a bunch of their dramas for different countries to do remakes. And so far, so they did it at the end of last year, and so now we're gonna start seeing all of them. And I've seen like multiple of these, like at least posters or like casting happen. So like a lot of these are really happening. So far we have Reborn Rich is going to be remade in Thailand. Strong Woman Do Bong Soon is Malaysia. Dr. Cha and King the Land are going to be in Turkey. Misty is getting picked up in the Middle East. And then Beyond Evil is going to be picked up in Japan, which I'm very excited for.
Yeah, that's
Beyond Evil as a J-drama.
Be kind of sick, yeah.
I mean, like, Beyond Evil, the K-drama is very, very good. But, and that's just like a sampling. They really just were like, here, have at it, different countries, go ahead and make the remakes. I think it was just like they're like an internal like company thing. They were like, let's just make the money, just go, just take it. Because Secretary Kim is like multiple places, yes. And then I think Strong Woman Do Bong Soon is also going to be in multiple places past the article. But yeah,
I've got a wild tale for all of you today.
Do I think I know what this one is?
Maybe. So they're, in Korea, they have a variety of year-end awards for various things. And a lot of, like, drama awards and music awards as well. And then at the music awards, they have groups come and, perform and all this and get awards for things. And one such music awards was the Hanteo Music Awards. And when I tell you, things went sideways at the Hanteo Music Awards this year.
It was a show.
It was a shit show. Remember that expression. It may come back later. So first off, like, apparently it was just like security they hired the laziest security team you've ever seen in your life, who were not doing anything to stop, like, shoving, fighting, like, just absolutely nasty.
Crowd crunch issues where people were getting hurt. Yeah.
And so you have these videos of like the idols sitting on the stage, like looking out at the audience with deep concern. And you're thinking to yourself, what could an idol do? Well, a hero emerged, okay? A hero truly did emerge from the idols themselves. And that's our boy, our sweet child, Hongjun from ATEEZ, who was pissed. And you know what they say about, like, short kings? Don't get them mad. Don't get them mad. So first off, he's, like, crouching on the edge of the stage, tapping security guards on the shoulders and, like, swearing at them and pointing and being like, what the hell are you doing? Like, go, like, do your job. When the security guards still wouldn't do their jobs, he then sent out ATEEZ's security team to, like, do stuff. Things were bad. And since all this of him trying to, bring order to the chaos that was the Hanteo Music Awards, there's been a lot of people online who had never listened to ATEEZ because that wasn't their group, and are like, Hongjun for president, who was that incredible guy.
Hongjun, like, went away too, Mingi was also, like, pointing at specific people, because there were people who were passed out.
Yeah.
So they were even trying to get, like, people. It was, like, an actual, like, dangerous
emergency situation.
Yeah, and they were, like, pissed. And, like, all the, like, the groups behind them, you could tell they were, like,
nervous,
very scared about every single person in that crowd.
And you're thinking that should have been the top story.
Which, I mean, that is very serious. I do want to get, like, that's, it's not funny.
And you're thinking that should have been the worst thing that happened at this event, but unfortunately, for one poor individual, things went real sideways because someone had a bathroom emergency in the audience, shall we say, and that became just pandemonium, okay? And to this person's credit, They then went online and was like, I would really like to apologize for what happened. It was me. I'm so sorry about
I'll clean
shitting
your
myself
clothes.
at the music awards. If you need,
I'll
dry
pay for
cleaning,
your laundry fee.
So it's like, what a brave individual to like be like, it was me.
Everyone else is like, I would expire and never
I
go
would-
on the internet.
yeah, you would not.
You would never see me again.
I'm the
No
problem
one
with
would. I
me.
would change my name and move to the countryside.
Yeah.
And never go online again. But it was such a bad scene there. I don't know what happened.
And
Like,
it just,
was like
the physics of it don't even make sense.
no.
Honestly.
But like what I
really
mean, like just
doesn't.
the whole music awards, like clearly a ball was dropped on like a planning, like you know thing, because it was bad. Like we laugh
definitely
about
were
it
like,
now
we're
because
not going to spend any money on this.
because nobody got seriously hurt and everyone was fine at the end. We can sort of laugh about it, but like this is not good. Like this is like everyone there was in danger because of these like terrible security protocols and everything.
And the fights were like a big deal. Like there's a lot of bad chaos going on.
Yeah. So hopefully,
but the funny haha is all the poop jokes. Like that's really
the memes were sublime. So, but also I did enjoy the Hong Jun for president. Like, oh, Captain,
it
my
really
Captain.
was sweet. Like
like that he cared
because they
about
would give
people.
like firsthand accounts of like, hey, I was there for like my group, but he like really like essentially like saved
Wanted
my
to
friend
help
from
people,
getting trampled.
And
type
also,
thing,
I mean, like
things like that.
Their AT's security guards like were going out too because it could actually for like there is a world where it could have been like a serious like
stampede
legal thing too for AT's security guards to be going into the place where the stadium security guards are supposed to be doing stuff too, and they still did it because they realized how bad
dangerous
this situation was.
Yeah. So hopefully they learn their lesson from this. And
another aspect of it, everyone could smell the mess that happened.
Well, it was also it was
and
so
bad.
like to where they were feeling sick, like real bad stuff. Anyway,
like
the internet doesn't cry about it; they make jokes. So like there were jokes thereof.
Yeah, because like it's so ludicrous of a situation.
But it is one of those things that like that award show will have to do some huge reorganization before.
Oh, absolutely! Like someone needs to get fired because of what happened.
Oh, I mean, like, are those like any of those people gonna come back? No,
right.
not your top performers, and you need those top performers to come, or you're not gonna get sponsorships to put on it.
Ridiculous. Amanda, what else you got?
Well, in very exciting news, the Thai marriage equality bill has passed its second reading and is moving on to its third stage for potential approval in the House of Reps on March 20th. So
very fun.
Wonderful for the people of Thailand who this affects, but also opens so many extra avenues for the boylet of genre lovers. Like we're gonna get all those just like K-dramas always used to have the final episode wedding. We're gonna start getting those.
Well, to be honest, we've already been getting those, but it's gonna be for real.
It's gonna be nice. I'm obviously happy for the people who this actually affects, who no longer have to consider, can we afford a trip to like the States to have a real wedding or whatever. Like, good for you.
Yeah.
So hopefully it passes its third reading and it's all good.
Yeah, so that would be fantastic.
So Chungha is gonna have come back, by the way, so that's side note of that. But Chungha, so she's moved to More Vision, a different company than what she was at, and we've had a little Chungha drought. But after she moved over, she changed her fandom name. Fandom name, sorry. My voice cut out. But she took suggestions from the fans, as lots of artists do. And so she had this video. It was very sweet. She had this video where she read off a handful of the suggestions along with the meanings that the fan were giving the name and stuff, kind of the explanation of it. And it was really sweet because, like, she read all of them, but near the end, one of them really got touching for her. And so she cried, like, and she had to stop filming and, like, continue the video, like, a different day entirely. And so then she's like, so I'm not going to finish reading off all the ones you guys suggested, but this is the one that we picked, you know, like. And then, so the new name is Heart, H-A-A-R-T. The H-A at the beginning comes from Chungha, and the A-R-T at the end is from the word start. And the meaning that I think the fan came up with was literally you all were there when Chungha started and symbolizing people who will continue to start everything new with Chungha in the future. That's pronounced cute. As heart, meaning forever love Chungha. So it was very sweet. I hope all the best for her, seriously. So it was very touching, and they used to have a different fandom name, so she was like, sorry if I still call you that sometimes. So
also,
she's so sweet.
The teaser for her new song sounds like an utter banger. So
yeah,
we really can't like put out something good.
No,
come on,
yeah. It's impossible for Chungha not to put out absolute, just mind-melting spectacularness, you know.
And another little tidbit was recently, so Tin had a comeback, and he was doing a content thing it was in English. I don't remember what the name, like which little it was an English-based content thing. So it was two idols come in blindfolded. So Tin comes in blindfolded and Chungha's sitting there blindfolded, and they just take it off and then they chat, and it was mostly in English. There were subtitles, but it was pretty sweet because they figured out they're like same birthday month and stuff, and then that they've been watching each other this whole time. And then he had to put on cat ears and she had to put on dog ears because he has a cat and she has dogs. Like, so that was cute. And then evidently they ended up talking about their pets so much that it had to like cut that part. Like they just showed like sped that up because they just kept talking about their pets.
Nice.
Relatable.
But it was just really sweet. And so like, you know, she's been a solo for so long and it's his solo debut, and so they kind of talked about some stuff like that. But yeah, I kind of suggest that content because it was just really, really cute.
So this I found a couple of weeks ago, maybe even more now, and I admittedly haven't like updated to see if there's like any progress in it, but I think this is really cool. So there is a K-drama that came out in 2003. It's called Jewel in the Palace. I'm pretty sure you can watch it on Kokoa. It was a huge hit. Like at its peak, it was at a 57.1% viewership rating in 2003, and then it's now the 10th highest rated Korean drama of all time. And it's like big thing is that it's like now known as one of the primary proponents of the Korean wave by heightening the spread of Korean culture abroad, because it actually like went out and even earned a lot here in the US and that sort of thing. So Fantagio signed a contract with a drama writer to write a new drama that is like a continuation of the drama because its 20th anniversary is coming up. And on top of that, they've cast the lead from the original, Young A, for this new drama as well. So it's filming now or going to film in this year with a coming out next year.
Oh, that's fun.
There's
I think it's just so cool.
Yeah. There's a series called Daejang Gum is Watching, put out by the same network, and it's about her like and like offspring kind of thing, like in the modern era.
Mhm.
So these siblings who all have her like magical, amazing cooking power or whatever. And what's neat is that they use scenes from that original drama, Jewel in the Palace. They use scenes from it as like flashbacks about
That's
our
cool.
ancestor and stuff. It's really,
That's
it's
fun.
interesting because like obviously the film looks old, it looks different, and when
Yeah.
you're first watching it, you're like, this is kind of odd that they did. And then I was like, hang on, I bet. And so I looked at that's like actual clips that they used, which I thought was a really neat way to
Here,
call back.
I'll read the synopsis on Wikipedia for the Jewel in the Palace, just so you kind of like get a sense of like the storyline. So it tells the tale of an orphaned kitchen cook who went on to become the king's first female physician. In a time when women held little influence in society, young apprentice cook Jang-geum strives to learn the secrets of Korean cooking and medicine to cure the king of his various ailments. It is based on the true story of the first female royal physician of the Joseon dynasty. The main themes are her perseverance and the portrayal of traditional Korean culture, including Korean royal court cuisine. Korean royal court cuisine. That's so hard to say. There's so many.
That's a real tongue twister right there.
And traditional medicine. I think it'd be like
cool.
really cool to watch this original show, especially if it's like on Cocoa, and then watch the continuation now.
Who knows? Maybe we will.
I mean, sounds like something we would do for an episode, I guess.
Yeah. I'm fascinated about Fantagio, like like, you know, putting the money in it and stuff. They've done that with shows, but it's usually like that's headed by one of the people that's in their stable already. So, as far as I know.
Yeah. It was originally an NBC show. I don't know if Fantagio is tied at any point, but I guess like it's also possible that someone just like working there was part of the original.
Now that I think about it, though, the dog show, Anu's dog show, it was an NBC show. So like they've at least
they might
streams. So
interesting. So I've got a little trio of semi-related by content tales and what's related, because it's all about Thai BL, baby. That's right. It's time for Natalia's Thai BL Update Corner. Okay. All right. First off, actor Neo Tri. If you watch our Roll for Drama, and we're here for December and January's Roll for Drama, he featured quite heavily in those live streams. Has got a girlfriend. He's hard launched a girlfriend publicly with a fellow actress named Mint Tishar. And they seem really happy and cute, and like all of his ship partners are like, we knew they were dating, we love them, like it's really adorable. You love to see it, right? And that's just how it should be, right? But I think like what sort of helped him on his hard launch is he doesn't have like a set partner. Like he just kisses all the boys, you know, and one girl. So he kisses all the boys and one woman. So good for him. You know what? He seems like a nice guy, so be free, my friend. Next up, this one's got like a couple parts to it. So there's an actor from Pit Babe. He played like the main dude's best friend who's been secretly in love with him in Pit Babe. Suptanut, he's in a bunch of things. He starred in Oxygen and Something in My Room. Like very well-known actor. The first off, he's like friends with everyone on Pit Babe, which apparently some fans were really upset about, because he was like clowning around with like one of the guys who was like one of the leads from the second couple in the show. People were like, oh, what are you trying to do? Like ruin the ship or something? And instead of just like apologizing or anything, he literally replied to that person on social media himself and was like, we're friends, what the fuck do you want me to do? Like, do you want to stop you want me to stop being friends? Would that make you happy? Like, get a life. Like, it basically, he did a good old touch grass. And then right on the heels of the show ending, he was on, like, an interview. And he was like, oh, yeah, I date men. I'm gay. Like, that's right. It's me. I'm coming out. And since then, he's been living his best life. He's been getting manicures. He's been joking around. He's like, listen, I told off a fan, and now I've decided to just be myself, you know? And to be honest, big fan of that energy.
Yeah, man.
So, congratulations, my dude. And then, on a slightly sadder note, just today, not the day this comes out, but the day they're recording this, actor James Sivamonkol, the guy who starred in Bed Friends with opposite Net Siripop, this company put out an announcement saying that he is quitting acting, which was a big surprise to all the people who were currently making a show that he is starring in opposite Net Siripop, but they're all very supportive of it.
That's good.
So he's going to focus on his other career. He's an artist, so he wants to do that instead. So you know what? Good for him for knowing what he wants to do. I have a sneaking suspicion nasty fan culture probably led him to not want to do this anymore, because I feel like that would make me not want to do it anymore. So they're just recasting his role in the upcoming Love Upon a Time, which is like a time travel romance. So no word as of yet, as of this recording anyway, who's going to be replacing him. But we wish him well in his endeavors. And then as a final note, it's, listen, I gotta keep the updates coming, because every Newsnas I got a little update about this. It looks like Mutol might be official, my friends. Look, they're using slightly coded language, but it seems like they're telling us, and I think the big one was Mew posting a picture and there being like a congratulations on your engagement card in the background of the pictures. I don't know. I think they might be doing a little bit trolling with us, but they're keeping us going. Okay,
they're having
fun. Both.
Like, they're having a good time, one way or another, or both. Like, yeah.
I'm living for every little crumb that they give us. Like, in every interview that they do, everyone's just asking about the other one. They're like, oh, you know, like, we're so close. Like, oh, yes, we're going on vacation with his parents. Like, and it's just like, you motherfuckers. Like, you're giving us everything, and you're giving us nothing. And I love that. I love it. I think it's the funniest shit to see people lose their mind over it. And I'm really enjoying it, you know? And I feel like they're having
You're also
fun
one of them that loses your mind over it
listen,
too, though.
okay, no, I'm not
like in the good
losing
way.
my mind. But I'm not like losing my mind in like a psychotic way like some people are. I'm losing my mind in I love this energy troll that they're pulling on us right now. I love it. So that's,
like
I've always got to...
The one girl on online who was like, imagine, like, you are going to inherit your family's company anyway, so you quit acting to go, like... get like a degree in architecture? What is that?
Yeah.
Like,
it's
education
like,
is a good thing? Like, what is...
Like, why wasn't Toll allowed to inherit his family's company and get a master's degree in architecture? I don't understand why that's a crime.
Weird... And I mean, they're mad because it's like, well, he gave up acting so that he could do this, but instead he's going to Fashion Week. And it's like, you know, Fashion Week's in the same city where he goes to school. Like,
you know, Fashion Week isn't a job, right?
Like,
yeah, and also it's like, you can have two jobs. Like, it's not illegal to do two things, you know?
I mean, like, Fashion Week is like,
it's a
week.
It's
it's a dated thing. So like you could just take
it's
off
a gig.
work.
Yeah. Like you
can
use
that taking off of work.
And you know what makes
to another.
And you know what makes taking off work even easier? When you're working for your family's company, baby. Oh yeah. Good job, buddy. Like,
also, like,
I mean,
work from home is a thing, so he can take his work on the road. Like
he's an architect who works for a real estate company. Like, I feel like that's a good thing. Like, I want the people who build buildings to know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I
I do feel like the final delightful point was it was Mew's birthday recently, and the guy who acted with Tull in all those BLs went on to Mew's Instagram to wish him happy birthday. So really, like,
yeah.
Everyone's cool with what's happening. Maybe chill out.
Except for the fans.
Except for these crazy fans.
For the weirdo fans.
Except for these fans with no joy in their hearts,
Right.
No sense of love, They don't get it, okay? It's girls who get it, get it. Girls who don't, Just putting that out there.
So, in K-pop news, FNC is debuting a new band for the first time in 10 years. The first time since N Flying was debuted in 2015. They're going to debut at the FT Island concert in Taipei. They're going to be the opening act for them.
Yeah, and it's already happened at this point. Like,
yeah, it was like
it has occurred.
The 18th of February, something like that.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's kind of exciting and good for them. They have good bands. They don't always seem to know what to do with them, but they do.
They don't know how to market worth anything, but they make good bands.
But they know how to find good bands, okay? They know how to locate the good musicians, but after that, you're kind of on your own.
So I will dive into this, and I'm not going to dive into the personal lives too much because that's not what I'm here for. But so we're going to talk about the aespa Karina and actor Lee Jae-wook's situation for a second. In case you don't know, which if you don't, you're probably under a little rock, but that's fine. That is a good place to be.
You know what?
So all I'm going to tell you is these two people went to a fashion show. Usually when they do that, like, was it Prada? I don't even remember. Doesn't matter. It's usually because they're already spokesmodels. It's a whole thing. So they sat beside each other, and the media is all, oh, it was love at first sight. We don't know what happened. They're people. These are people. A 23-year-old female idol, aespa's Karina, and actor Lee Jae-wook, which I know he looks older, but he's only 25.
Told you. Yes. Like, they were like, yeah, it was for love at first sight.
Right. So, like, so, to be clear, these individuals have not said, oh, we fell in love at first sight, which, hey, if they stay together for 5 billion years and eventually say that, cool. But if they're not saying that right now,
maybe don't say it.
Media needs to keep their little trap shut. So, Dispatch figured out that these two people were meeting sometimes. And Dispatch had to go run their mouths about it. So, like, okay, they met in January. Let's be, like, mid-January.
Let's do timeline here, yeah.
Mid-January, at a public event where they sat next to each other, at, again, spokesmodels, it's a whole thing. So, I imagine these two young 20-year-olds spoke to each other, figured out they might have a few things in common, and they're people, so they do whatever. So then Dispatch gets involved, runs their mouth, and is like, these people are dating.
Listen, I gotta say, 2 weeks? That ain't dating, okay? That's a situationship, and you just hard launched their D appointment. Like, you are monsters.
But no, like, there's no reason to even assume they could be going to coffee and just chatting about video. You don't know. They might just be chilling. So anyway, of course, Dispatch did this, and so then the two companies are like, we'll check. We're gonna go check. So here's the wording from Karina's company, which I think is SM Entertainment. Karina and Lee Jae-wook are now getting to know each other. That's it. That's all you get from that.
Yeah, but like, that's also how like dating works. That's how meeting friends works.
If they only met each other at that event, that's all they can be. They're busy people.
And then from his company, they officially say the two are now getting to know each other. The actor is filming, and it is his private life. We ask you to treat him warmly and with respect. So it's like,
Yeah.
The thing is,
He's
like,
busy.
they could be dating, they could not be dating, they could just be hooking up, they could not be hooking up, we don't know. But now they have to be dating because Dispatch just screwed the pooch, you know what I mean? They jumped the gun. So now you have to be dating for, even if they, went on one date, didn't like each other, and were not going to date, now they have to like save face. So it's like, maybe Dispatch, maybe wait a couple months on that. Like, sit on that, see if they meet multiple
give him 6
times.
Months.
Like,
I mean, what happened to, like, the New Year's releases? Just wait until the New Year,
this is
and then,
unnecessary.
Explode.
I don't think it's juicy news, which I don't really. This isn't my bag anyway. I don't like revealing people's personal lives on any level. So we'll say that's all. It's all gross. So like all gross, but
so quick.
People in their 20s in the entertainment industry just being people and hanging out together.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh, no.
They
so and actually, Korea side, there's some
chill out.
assumption that this is being used to cover up political shenanigans.
Probably.
I mean, yeah, but like
that would be like.
But it's also Dispatch, and they're full of nonsense.
it could be something to like be like covering up at Dispatch too. It could be that level,
right? Dispatch going, we need money. These people.
Yeah.
So now, anytime we see idols and actors like at these fashion shows that everyone goes to,
they just announced that
sitting next
Giselle of aespa and Sungmin of Stray Kids are going to be attending.
I think
fashion show
Hyunjin
together.
and what's her face are now
no,
going
I
out.
don't
They're going to be 3 feet apart at all times,
All the
You can't
journalists,
even
American
picture us
journalists
in
are
the
going to be
same
like, why are
shot.
you doing this?
enough space with Jesus between. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
It's gonna be
Another
middle schoolers dancing at the slow dance, you know what I mean? Like, grab beach ball between them, don't worry about it.
So on top of this, I want to highlight that international fans of aespa, which all I've seen is funny stuff. I don't see the bad craziness of it, but I've heard that there's bad craziness. People had pegged Karina based on things that she had said, that she was maybe sapphic. Okay? And so now, again, media's going, they fell in love at first sight and they're dating all this stuff, which, like, whatever. But, so the fans, oh no, their hearts are broken. She's dating a dude, supposedly. And I'm just like, again.
It always goes down to, like, they thought they had a chance and now it's ruined.
No! First off, we don't actually know that they're dating, okay? Second off...
But also, there
Shut
are
up.
other sexual orientations that
right.
can...
So, everyone's like,
Go on.
multi-sexualities exist, bi people exist, pan people, like...
Yeah.
Just,
Also,
and again...
I mean, all the things that, like, I saw the big, like, somebody... huge sheet of all of her evidence that Karina's gay and all this stuff.
Which is like, listen,
she likes women. That doesn't, like,
So...
I like women. I'm very straight, but I also prefer to watch, like, female-led TV shows and listen to female, like,
because
liking women doesn't always mean that you like women. Which,
like, liking women and wanting to have sex with women are two
completely
different
things.
things. Like, look at the average straight man. You'll know that liking women and wanting to have sex with women are two wildly different things. But it's like, first off, okay. Idols don't know either sexuality. No one knows either sexuality, whatever. But I think a further level to this, it would actually be funnier if she was a lesbian. And her and Jungkook were just meeting just because, like, lesbian and straight bro, good times.
Yeah.
Which would make this the funniest
They really could just be
situation.
hanging out. Like, they could just be like, hey, like, buddies, yeah.
Yeah, but this whole thing is stupid. And Dispatch, shame on you. Shame on you, Dispatch, for, hard launching these people against their will. You know what I mean?
I do wish to add one other little tiny joke onto this, because I'm trying to keep it light with this. But, I mean... The bad thing, like, the whole reason I'm saying this, boo on Dispatch. Just as always, like, I really hope that at some point Dispatch being deplatformed for that type of stuff would be lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, anyway, so a funny little tidbit that Natalia sent me. It was just a joke that someone made on Twitter. So context is that ATEEZ's Sunghwa, he watches dramas and stuff, okay? And he was talking about all these dramas that he recently watched and liked. And he went on, and he was talking about Alchemy of Souls, because he really liked Alchemy of Souls. And he was, like, really frustrated, you know, the way the characters be, blah, blah, blah. Like, he was just talking on and on about it. And he's like, and I figured out how old Lee Jae-wook was, and he's 25. And so I felt closer to him. You know, he was just getting jazzed about, he was just chatting. Anyway. So when this
he put the sword move from Alchemy of Souls in his choreo because he loved it so much. Like, loved Alchemy of Souls. Okay.
So again, taste. He has really good taste.
Yeah.
So anyway, so when this news broke, you know, this love at first sight at the fashion show shenanigan, blah blah blah. The joke, someone found a tweet that was like summarizing this like Alchemy of Souls feeling close to Lee Jae-wook thing. And someone said, "I'm so sorry, Sunghwa."
Has someone checked on Sunghwa today? Like, is he doing okay? Like, that's the type of memes I enjoy. Like, those are the memes that Sky and I send each other all day, every day.
Well, that's really all I ever see about this stuff. Like,
yeah.
Aside from like, here's the article or whatever, I don't see the like weird negative stuff of it.
Most of what I saw on my timeline was like the girlies sort of like fake crying, like, Karina, no, you know, like not
into a boy.
Any of the sapphic heartbreak I saw was tongue in cheek. Like, I only saw the funny light stuff. Like it's okay, you can like men too. Like, you know, it's fine.
Like, if you have to, I suppose. You know.
But men are disappointing, so just know that you don't always have to do that. You know, just that type of thing.
There's another way.
So that's all that. Dispatch has some really cute pictorials of other stuff. You know, like they do some decent journalistic stuff, but the non-decent, like, they need to stop with the bad.
Yeah.
This ain't it, fam. This ain't it. This ain't it.
Okay, so following that up, now that we're like properly at a heightened state, I think it's time to talk about High School Return of a Gangster.
Okay.
So we're gonna have some opinions about this. So just like a quick
pull up a chair.
A brief
Noonas Unhinged coming up.
Yeah, right. Summary of what's going down. There is a K-drama that is upcoming called High School Return of a Gangster. It stars the kid who is the star in All of Us Are Dead. It was announced last year. And the thing with this show is that it's based on a manhwa that is a BL. So everybody, when it first was like, hey, this is happening and this person is cast, everybody was like, wait, what? Like a pretty hot actor, like, you know, how, like, in, you know, people are like looking at him right now, is gonna be in this BL? That's crazy. And then pretty quickly they were like, yeah, no, we're not gonna be a BL. And just like within this past week, there was an update from the producers that clarified why they were going the non-BL route. And I'm going to read what BL Update from Twitter posted on there.
BL Update, real one BL Update.
Yeah. This says that the team initially found the premise of the webtoon interesting and attempted to adapt it into a bromance. However, they ultimately changed course due to the ongoing challenge of ensuring commercial success. And you're thinking to yourself, like, oh, God, homophobia wins again. And you think that that's it. That's as bad as we're going to get. It's just, like, them being stupid about it and being, like, they don't understand that, like, BL's is, like, especially at this very moment in time, BL's, like, stupid popular. That's not the worst part about it, because the cast list has been announced, and guess who was cast? Remember, they were trying to ensure commercial success because they didn't want anything plaguing this
any sort of
production.
negative anything to the...
That's right. The most casted pedophile in the industry, Lee Kyung-young.
Boo! Boo! Boo hiss! It's like, just fucking
BL was the problem.
nail the last hammer in the coffin.
Like, even just like a hint of any sort of like relationship or any sort of caring, they're like, no, people won't like it. Do you remember our story that we did at the very beginning about the Chinese drama?
Yeah.
Like,
the Fujoshi.
It would have been a commercial success.
That's who gives money to things. Listen, a whisper of gay, you gonna make money, okay? Like, why are we playing this game like they think BLs don't make money?
And also,
So
like,
stupid.
the webtoon or manhwa, like, adaptation pipeline, like,
Yeah.
people, you already have an audience sitting there from the original thing.
And it's also for a younger audience. Like, so guaranteed, this is not like it's like a weekender where your audience is going to be older, so you will actually have a more percentage of people who are going to be conservative and not be into that. But this is like prime real estate. Like, it's so stupid it hurts. Like, you could be making so much more money because people are gonna boycott this, and it actually is going to be a good amount of people, like, especially on your international side. So if you like send that out internationally wise, like, it's not gonna do as well as you expect. Like, already, like, people have been like very adamant about, like, anytime anybody posts like a comment anywhere, they're like, yeah, it's not a BL, so don't watch it.
Yeah. And it's wild to me how much these companies don't want to make money.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually wild to me
how many stories there are. There are so many straight stories. There's so many straight manhwas that they could have picked. They could have picked.
Well, here's
just
initially
had it.
what really doesn't make sense to me. Like, just, I think it's the same production company as Unintentional Love Story.
That's
which was
stupider.
very popular and is getting a sequel. Oh no, you know what you don't do for commercial failures? Make sequels. Like, ludicrous.
I don't.
Ludicrous. And the pedophile, final nail
like
in the coffin,
that,
babes.
Yeah.
No. And you know he was like the last one cast. You know
they
that
cast
these other
everybody
actors-
else.
Yeah.
And they're like, ha suckers, you already signed
like,
the
you signed-
contract.
And it's like, the thing is, it's like, even if it wasn't a BL, I really like the main actor, and it's like the other guy, like, there's like an older gentleman actor in it as well, who I also really like. I would have probably still watched it. But the pedophiles cast? Nah.
Yeah.
You lost me, friends. I don't care how good of a plot your show is. I'm not gonna watch it. Like, and I've actually, like, there were, shows that I literally was like, oh, he's in it? No. And they seem so interesting. Like, the one that came out, like, at the same time
Moon
as Parks
in the Day or whatever.
Moon in the Day.
Yeah.
That was a drama that was exactly the type of thing that I want. Saw that he was in it, said, nah.
It's so exhausting. It's
exhausting.
really exhausting. It makes no sense. None of this ever makes any sense.
No.
But, like, at least with the homophobia, you got, like, a little bit of, like...
You're like, okay, you're just
society
bigots.
context,
All right.
like, it's
Yeah, but, like,
you see where it's coming from.
That... I can't even, like, in superficial ways, I can't even, like figure out why we keep on hiring him. He's not that great of an actor. He's not that great
He's
looking.
not special.
What is it?
Yeah,
There's
like,
nothing
he
special
knows
about
something.
him.
Like,
He's
he's got
like every
something on
other
people.
old guy in Korean, like, entertainment right now.
Yeah.
There's nothing, like, good about him.
Literally every role I've ever seen him in, like, Kim Won-hae could play that role 20 times.
But they're also like roles that, like, you would normally have, like, secondary or third characters. So there are even, like, roles that, like, not even top actors or known actors need to be playing those.
Right.
They're, like, traditionally, like, a newer or, like, a, someone who doesn't have as many credits to their name type show. And, like, just, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, and also before it's like people are like, oh, like these are speculating. No, he's been convicted of it. He served jail time.
Yeah, he was like he was banned from entertainment for a very long time. Like there was a ban on him for a very long time. I'm sure there are like places that still have him banned, but like not enough.
If you're gonna ruin people's lives over smoking a doob, but let this guy come back, then fuck off. You know, just
exactly.
So it's like you're saying gay things don't sell when we've already established that gay is the bedrock of the entertainment community.
We literally just talked about like how people are mad that a girl who was thought to be lesbian
wasn't a lesbian. You've also decided to just completely disregard the source material when there was probably source material similar to that plot, but not gay, that you could have just used to begin with if that's what you wanted. Because, listen, Gangster goes back in time in high school. There's more than just that one. Okay? For sure, there's a straight version of that. Okay? And then you've just decided, hey, pedophiles are fine. Like, no, absolutely not. Get out of here.
I'm sure everyone doesn't like working with that pedophile guy too, because they know it's not like it's a little secret. But it's also like, the marketing of all these darn shows, which this show of course doesn't have marketing yet, really.
Yeah,
but watch. And you will not see him in the marketing. He will not.
So they
be
know.
shown.
They know he's not marketable, which is why he's never like. Literally, there's been so many shows that it's like he shows up in like episode 4 and is like a fucking jump scare.
Yeah, they just like hope that people just don't know. It's like hope they get the people who didn't like follow the news when he did it or have forgotten and don't like look up people, like so they aren't going online to look up people, so they just won't have any idea, or they think they're too young to know who this person is.
And also, he's not a good enough actor that most people would be like, "Oh, I gotta look up what he's special." So
there's nothing special about him.
Sucks.
There's really
the whole thing
not.
Sucks.
Like
the only thing special about him is what a fucking creep he is.
Yeah, it's just also just like very disappointing and saddening that like we're still. It's 2024 and we're still doing
this. We're still playing this game.
We're still doing this.
It's so disrespectful to the original work. Like, again, either write a new one, find some other source material, but how about we stop taking queer stories and making them into something else? Now, the only exceptions being given, I think, should be in places that, like China. Like
things
having to be bromance to pass. Like that's still not great, not ideal, right? But like there's no other alternative for it to hit a screen. So like you have to do what you have to do. But
and usually with those, it's like the subtext is so heavy that you're just like I know that this does happen. Okay, I know it does happen, but I can't imagine someone watching like Word of Honor or The Untamed and not knowing those two characters are
they're
gay
such good friends.
Yeah, but it's like, but at the same time, it's like, you know, the they were roommates disease does permeate some people's minds, you know.
Really?
It's like what was the one that I saw where a woman was posting a picture of like her wedding of like her and her wife in like wedding dresses. Yeah. It was like, it's so nice when sisters get married on the same day. And it's just like, girl, that ain't what's happening.
You're right.
It is nice. However, that's not the case.
Not
here.
what's happening here.
People are gay, Brenda.
Oh, look, a double wedding. No, a single wedding.
A double wedding in the fact that there are two brides. Yes, but in every other sense, no. It's really funny because I use like, you know, they're called gay people, Brenda, or it's fashion Brenda. I have a sister named Brenda who's not homophobic or like ridiculous. So every time I say it, I laugh a little. I'm like, she'd find this funny that I'm using her name. Ugh. Keeping the gay train going. Listen. We just talked to you about how they're trying to like de-gay something, but let me tell you, there are some hardworking people who are invading China left and right. You thought there was one China invasion story? There's 2 China invasion stories this year because there's a new wuxia BL show on the works. And you're thinking, oh, you mean bromance? No, baby. I mean BL because they've come up with the most clever ploy to get around Chinese censorship this time, my friends. So, it is a Chinese show written by a Chinese scriptwriter who then sold it to a Taiwanese company who's making it a joint Taiwan-Thailand production.
Nice.
And it's called, it's based on a gay Chinese novel called Meet You at the Blossom. And it's going to be directed by Chen Yiyu, who was the director of Papa and Daddy, which was a really nice queer show. And History 4 and 5, not the best history shows, but like they had good moments too. Like, you know, like sure. She didn't write the script to them, okay? And she did other things too. So like I'm really excited about this because this is like such a sneaky way to like get around things, you know what I mean? Where they were like, okay, China won't let us make this novel, but you know what? Who will let us make this show?
What will be nice is Thailand. Like if it's the first of many, like if it, you know, if they go that way,
and it goes well, and
because the thing that's going to happen, and this, you know, money eventually wins, is that these sorts of shows people love. One, they love wuxia shows. Wuxia is basically like fantasy martial arts, historical fantasy style, right? Like, you know, like Word of Honor, The Untamed, you know, as we previously mentioned, those are wuxia shows. So people love that shit. So it's like, people watch that stuff, people love gay stuff, people love wuxia, people love danmei novels. This is all uniting, and China's just leaving that money on the table because they hate gay people so much. But like, eventually, if these, you know, Chinese authors just keep selling the book rights to Taiwanese companies, eventually China's going to be like, I want
the money.
Give me the money. Like, let's be real. They're communist in name only. So I'm like really excited. I hope this does well. I hope it's good. Because that would be such a chef's kiss, cherry on top situation for the whole, you know, BL censoring in China, where they're just like, fine, we'll just go around you. Like, oh, you won't let us have boys kissing in China? Well, don't you worry. We'll have them smooch it elsewhere and just leave you out of the whole process. So, so that, I think that's coming out in 2025. But I just thought that was such a fun, I like malicious compliance, you know? There's something fun about a good malicious compliance. And this is truly, it's like, China won't let us make BL? Fine. Send it to Taiwan. Which is like so many layers if you're have even a passing knowledge of Chinese Taiwanese history. It becomes even more like just incredible. Incredible.
So, okay. This one's a bit of a downer, but I feel like our vibe is that we would like people to have good working situations and be safe when they're at work. And the Black Label photo shoot, I think this was just like today or yesterday, 4 of their staff were injured in a photo shoot at an old like abandoned warehouse that they fell 20 feet from like one story to the next or whatever. 2 of them were rushed to the hospital with head injuries. We want our idols to be safe, but we also want the people behind the scenes to be safe. And like, do your jobs. Like, safety is important. Take care of people. Hopefully these 4 people will be okay. Will not. I mean, head injuries are pretty serious. A fall from 20 feet, that's a big fall. So yeah, like, labels, get it together. Like, you know, And I think the thing is that a lot of people are just not gonna care because it's just, you know, whatever behind the scenes people. If this had been 4 idols who'd fallen through the floor, people would be up in arms about it. But like, people are people, and like, it's not worth it. Like, a photo shoot for a debut group or a music video, whatever. Like, we love these things, but they are not worth people's lives.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
And there's so many more options. Like, it's not...
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There are... Do your job. Like, I'm sorry, but if you want it to look like an abandoned warehouse, you can find a warehouse and make it look abandoned. People do these things all the time. It's like a career.
There's that one airplane hangar that everyone uses.
Yeah.
Like,
also, it's taken with a camera. You literally can position the camera where you want it, and then everything around doesn't even have to look right. Like, it's not even like a stage thing where, like, everybody can see everything on the stage, and you can't hide a lot of it. It's so easy to, like, figure out how to do these things safely.
So do that. Be safe. Make good choices.
Yeah. I guess on a similar note, Seoul Metropolitan Government passed an ordinance providing psychological and career counseling for young idol trainees. Seoul City Council announced that the ordinance on the protection and support of the rights and interests of juvenile cultural artists was passed.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
And that's a good first step. I'm sure that it does not cover all of the nooks and crannies of everything that probably needs to occur for sure, but every little step helps.
Start.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see how they try to evade that by moving all of their headquarters outside of Seoul, just to be dicks about it. Because listen, we know how capitalism works.
Yeah.
Yep.
But at least something's happening, I guess. There is
an
attempt. 2 news are things that I'm combining into one because it's about the same person. Yoshiki, if you don't know Yoshiki, they're a very, very amazing human being. They are a Japanese artist. If you are into Visual Kei or even just like J-Rock in general, you should know who Yoshiki is. Like, they're part of X Japan. So they posted on social media a picture of the studio with them and G-Dragon. And there was no other explanation of it, just them hanging out, and clearly the studio, clearly music is being produced in some way. So maybe a collab, hopefully, in the future. Maybe, possibly. We'll see. But also, a really cool thing that happened to Yoshiki is that they now have their handprints at the Chinese theater.
That's really cool.
And that happened in January, and they are the first Japanese artist to have their hands there. So that's, like, super exciting. So if you want to go find the pictures.
That's really cool.
Him with his hands, So that was cool.
And as the final note, I want to end this on a really fun note today. So Taeyong of NCT recently had a comeback, okay? And he has a song called Tag, all right? And then one...
Tap.
Sorry. He has a song called Tap. And one just absolute mensch of a citizen decided that she loved this song, and she loves Taeyong, and she's going to make as many people love Taeyong as she did. So she made a homemade sandwich board. She dressed up in a full pink sweatpants, sweatshirt thing. She had a neon green mask and sunglasses, and she had a little, like, Bluetooth speaker, and she went around various locations in Seoul playing the song and saying, you should go listen to Taeyong. Taeyong's the best. He has a new album. You should check out his new album. So people kept posting pictures of her and being like, oh, look at this person's like really like promoting for Taeyong. This is so funny. Taeyong then finds out about this. Okay? And he's like, I want to hunt her down so I can give her a gift and thank her. And so he's like, anyone who sees sightings of her, like, tell me where she is so I can find her. And then someone like had her like social media and was like, hey, Taeyong wants to meet you. And she's like, I know, but I'm too busy promoting TikTok.
I have work to do.
So she was like evading him. So he was sending his sister and his manager out to like locations where she had last been seen to like try to find her, and she kept evading him, and people were putting up more pictures, and he was making jokes like, this is like Pokemon Go, like trying to hunt down like that shiny Pokemon.
And didn't he like make an email address?
Yeah, he made like a custom email address for people to send sighting reports to. Like he
need like a Twitter,
working.
you know, like,
and
where is the sandwich board girl?
It was like, no, I'm not in it for the fame. I'm in it to promote Taeyong's new song. But they did finally hunt her down, and his sister and manager delivered flowers and a cake, and then he like video timed her, and she was like, I'm not in it to meet you, like I just love you so much that I want everyone to love you. And to this day, of this recording, she's still at it. Like, it's been multiple days that she's out with a brand new sandwich board, handwritten poster board, sandwich board, and she's just promoting her boy. And you love to see, she's not being creepy with it, she's not being a say-sang, she's not hunting him down, he's hunting her down. Reverse say-sang. It was really just such a cute, wholesome interaction, where it was like someone who genuinely loves this thing, and is just going out and telling people, hey, check out this thing I love. And then the person making it was like, I would like to thank you. And she's like, I'm not in it for the thanks.
Well,
I'm
can
in
you
it for the
also,
love of the game.
I mean, we don't know if this person's an introvert, but can you imagine if they're an introvert and they're like, oh no, what have I done?
like, you could not see an inch of skin on that girl. Like, she had big mask, big glasses,
she's like,
up. She's like, no, I don't.
Maybe I'll like track him down if you listen to the song.
If you can prove you streamed it a certain number of times, maybe
I like
I'll
to
allow you
think,
to tell
like in her head, she has a number, and she's like, if that number happens, then I'll do it. And that's like how she's like keeping going. She's like, that's where I'm striving for, that number.
I just love that, like, she evaded him. Like, people were like, he's looking for her. She's like, yeah, I know.
This has real, like, K-drama rom-com energy. Like, it's a very good setup for a rom-com.
This is a good meet cute
he's
situation.
chasing her, and,
I just love,
or even
like,
just wacky. Like, it doesn't even have to be romance. It's just like
a goofball
a silly song.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought
which it is a cute song, by the way.
It is it is very cute. I thought that was a fun way to end this end this Newsnas episode with just some cheerful, good fan interactions.
Yeah,
positive fan interactions. We love to see it. Obviously, we didn't cover every single news story. We're but one podcast, and we just did stuff that interested us. Clearly, if you
and we often try for like lighter vibe stuff too. Like we kind of balance it.
We're not a hard-hitting news series, but regardless, thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with with something new. Next week we got something real different from our usual stuff, and so we hope that you stick around next Monday for that. Thank you for listening. You can listen to us wherever podcasts can be found, but also if you go to our website certifiednoonas.com, you can see every episode that we've ever done with links to what we talk about, time codes. And also, we're also on YouTube, and we do live streams on YouTube. And you should go to our YouTube channel and like and subscribe, which I think we're legally obligated as people making videos on YouTube
as
to tell you to do.
YouTubers.
As
we are.
As the incredible content creators that we are, please like and subscribe to our content. And also, if you want to support this podcast, you can go to patreon.com/certifiednoonas to join the Certified Fan Family. They're a fan family on the web. They get little extra videos. They get a movie night every month. We have a good time. We have a good time with our friend family, and we think they're chef's kiss. They're the absolute tops. Anyway, we hope you have a great week. Maybe check out some more news, But also, you know what else is in the news? Measles and COVID still being a thing. Measles is back. That's fun.
Making a
which
comeback.
hangs in the air for 2 hours, by the way.
For the
Just
love of all things, please wash your hands. Please wear hand sanitizer. Please, even if you stopped wearing a mask, you can come back. Get those, KN94s out, 95s out. Put them on. Be safe. Choose life, And as always, keep enjoying Asian entertainment. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
bye.